Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of The Suited Shootist, and I'm going to be diving into a question that I've gotten a couple times on a couple of my past videos. Before I jump into it, just real quick, the Patreon is live. We've got 3 different tiers depending on kind of what interests you. Everything from a Discord server and some giveaways all the way up to some one-on-one time if you are interested in kind of elevating your style or you're having a hard time integrating your concealed carry stuff with your wardrobe. Some consulting from me to help you with that. So if that is of interest, I got the link in the description below, and I still got some of the stickers left as well, so if you want to get a few of those, the link for that is down there as well. So jumping into it. From a couple of the videos that I've done on pocket guns and dress concealment, some of the more astute viewers noticed and asked me about why I had a Clipdraw on the little 32 Kel-Tec that I will periodically use as a pocket gun, and what my thoughts were on it in terms of if I think it's a viable option. Honestly, I don't. I was playing around with it because I thought it might have had some merit, kind of in the same vein of some other stuff that I played with, but it really just doesn't jive, and I'm going to tell you about why. Before I do, the question is, well, if you don't like it, why is it still on the gun? There's a very simple answer to that. It's the fact that when I installed it, the cross pin that is normally in the pistol that the Clipdraw bolt replaces got so mangled that it just wasn't really, without ordering another part, which I don't feel like doing, it can't really be undone. So I'm just kind of living with it. It offers a little bit of extra retention on the soft-sided pocket holster that I have mounted to the pocket shield, so there's a little bit of a bonus there, but as a standalone, I really don't dig it, and here's why. It rides so low that you can't get a good grip on it. And the big problem with that is twofold. Number one, you can't get a good firing grip on it, and because it's positioned right where the frame meets the slide, when you actually go to get your thumb behind it, it tips the grip down, making it even harder to get at, because now instead of the belt line being here, you have the entire heel of the grip under your waistline, and even if you're not wearing a belt, it makes it that much trickier to fish out because you end up kind of getting hung up on the waistband of your trousers. So yeah, I'm not really the biggest fan of it, and especially, I don't know why they even make these for striker guns, like on a Glock or something like that, where there's a light trigger and very little travel to it. It is a big time no-go. I know that there are going to be some folks out there that are very uncomfortable with the idea, understandably, of any type of firearm with an exposed trigger. And that's why, at this point, all of my carry configurations involve some type of holster. This is the least optimal of them in that I still use a soft-sided remora or sticky style, one of those little neoprene envelopes when it's in a pocket. But I was hoping that this would do something, and also just to kind of jump in, reholstering is a big pain as well, because number one, you have to pull the waistband of your pants away with your offhand in order to give yourself clearance, because otherwise the only way to get clearance is to press this into your body and then go down. And even if I'm trying to do the keepers thing, I don't want to find out if I'm flagging myself or not. It's definitely too close for comfort. So yeah, this is just no bueno as a standalone. I was hoping that it was going to be a little bit more kind of in the vein of the Barami hip grip, which is definitely more functional in this configuration. I have this set up this way because this is actually, well, was for the longest time before the Enigma came out, my tuxedo gun. You've seen me before, I do actually own a tuxedo. And the challenge is that the tuxedo, a proper tuxedo, doesn't have a belt. And so that means that it's only the waistband of the pants that is supporting the weight of the gun. So therefore it's got to be lightweight. And you're wearing a vest or a cummerbund, so there's an additional waist covering to conceal whatever portion is exposed above the belt line. I don't have the full history behind the hip grip. However, from hearing Daryl Bulkey talk a couple times, this was apparently kind of designed for undercover drug cops in like the 70s, where they needed something, they needed to be able to carry without a holster to kind of blend in with the element that they were investigating. So this does allow, when it's below the belt line, you can still get not quite a full firing grip, but at least a decent grip on it. Again, Internet Safety Squad is going to freak out because, oh my God, it's a gun without a trigger guard. And yes, that's true. That's why these days I carry this in a Filster City Special. However, my understanding is that because of even heavily modified, a 12-pound trigger pull, and quite a bit of distance to make that thing discharge, the lack of a holster is less of a concern in the same fashion as the lack of a trigger guard on a Fitz Special. The trigger pull weight is so much heavier than the gun itself that it was less of a concern in the era in which it was popularized. Now, I'm not saying go do this. I do know some folks that still run revolvers with a hip grip like this. They are definitely advanced users. So if you are just looking to get into this kind of thing, avoid this, period, hard stop at all costs. This is a very ultra niche kind of thing. And honestly, with the options that we have available at this point, I don't see a circumstance where, as the civilian defender, the need for that much discretion is going to offset the potential risk for having the trigger exposed. So, like I said, this is just kind of the insight into the decision process, my trial and error, so hopefully that keeps y'all from making some of the same mistakes. I welcome these kinds of questions because, again, that's why I'm doing this, is to kind of help people avoid some of the pitfalls that trip me up and, get you guys to where you want to be faster than it took me. So yeah, aside from that, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And aside from that, join the Facebook group, Bespoke Solutions. We've got some awesome stuff going on in there. Everybody have a great week. Stay safe and stay sharp.